All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Reggie Wilson, a strategic communication major at Morgan State University. It's my pleasure today to talk with Rhyann Gray, president of the North Carolina State University chapter of Black Girls Vote. How are you today?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me again, Reggie.
Okay, so election, it's currently going on still counting the electoral votes and everything. My first big question is, what is your reaction to the president's election as it's going on right now? The results there so far.
So I kind of anticipated it to take a couple of days for all the votes to be counted. Like we see we're waiting on Pennsylvania's votes. And also like a lot of the swing states, we're trying to see who's going to win those, like North Carolina, Arizona, as well as Michigan and Wisconsin. So those are the few ones that we're still waiting on right now. But I actually wasn't too shocked that we didn't realize the results yesterday. But what really took me by surprise was, I would say, is Trump leading Pennsylvania. I thought Pennsylvania would have went blue, but right now Trump is leading Pennsylvania.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that on social media, thinking that's interesting that he's getting Pennsylvania also. So
Mm-hmm.
interesting, not surprising that you say that.
Right.
Um, do the current numbers as they stand right now, do they surprise you, and why or why not?
So the current numbers, it's a really close race, really close. And I knew it was going to be a really close race. That's why it was so crucial that everyone got out and vote, because every vote mattered. Like, they've been going head to head all
Mm-hmm.
day, and they're still going head to head. Because last time I checked, it was only like 20 away. It was 224 to 213 or 10 less. What, how, what's the math? Was that 9, 11?
Yeah, about that. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so the numbers are so close. Yeah, so that's why it was so important that everyone got out there and vote. And then what we will probably see is a lot of people complaining or don't agree with the outcome. So what I would definitely say is that one vote could have mattered for those who didn't vote and is just complaining or like not satisfied with the outcome.
All right. And they're saying, about 400,000, voted for Kanye West, something around that number, but it's crazy.
That,
Um,
I was like, wow, okay, y'all.
mhm, yeah. So, another question. So, did anything, realizing the results or anything as they stand right now, or anything before that, did anything kind of shock you, or was it an opposite, reaction? Like you just knew some things were going to happen?
What is really shocking to me was just that not all the votes were counted in the timely fashion that we thought we were going to receive the answer. So it's like a lot of anticipation, and a lot of people mental state is like going crazy. But other than just those states that Trump ended up winning or is in lead right now of, I feel like those were the only shockers.
Okay. All right. So, what do you think were important steps or processes during the campaign season that kind of got us to where we are now?
Okay.
Um,
I think a lot of major topics that each candidate had to discuss thoroughly was, one, how they're going to advance the Black community. That was a
mhm,
huge topic in the debate. Also, they wrote like a whole analysis about it, each candidate. Also with healthcare, because right now we're in a global pandemic. So just the health industry and how they seem to approve that, and what laws and things that they want to do, if they're going to keep Medicaid or things of that nature. The next thing I would say is education. They talked a lot about funding the schools and how the taxpayers go into part of that, and just higher education. So I feel like those three points were very huge and critical, and especially like the younger vote with the whole college and how they're planning on funding that.
okay. Last question. Because you lead a nonpartisan organization, generally, not getting too specific, what are any other reactions or expectations you had leading up to this point?
Um, so in light of that, I really I really think the $1 million question is, what is the future gonna look like? Um,
Yep.
no one knows. Like, I thought yesterday last night we were gonna find out who the president was, and then today everyone had just kind of been like on their edge a little bit, and then I think it would have been really curious to see what the world would look like in January or in February, March, April. During that time, I feel like that's really the $1 million question. But my reaction is just, I just feel like we're all just blown because we thought so many things would go a certain way, but it hasn't. Just like last December during Christmas time, if someone would have told me I would have lived through a pandemic right now, I would be like, what? Like, that's crazy. It seems like everything is always changing. And I feel like we don't necessarily have enough time to just kind of whine and complain anymore. Like, now things are being more brought into light through social media, technology, things of that nature. We're able to watch the video of Floyd being killed via the internet. So things like this and things have always been happening, but the innovations that our generation has, like social media, technology, more access to things, we just need to be able to use that and be able to constantly keep up with like our ever-changing economy and our ever-changing world now, because it's like now we just don't know, like everything's up in the air. So it's survival of the fittest. We got to be hungry. We got to go out there and vote. We got to be able to see that change we want to see. So I definitely think our generation, it's our time to really kind of step up to the plate and create those changes that we want to see.
That is a fact. Well, thank you, Miss Gray. I appreciate your time. That is all I have for you. Very intriguing opinions and details. Um, Anything else you would like to add?
No, we just gotta stay put, just watch, observe, take notes, so we know what's in the future. So now we're in this situation. We're now in the 2020 elections. Now we gotta hit the ground running for the next election, so we know what we can do better, or we know what we want to achieve.
Yes, ma'am. Well, hopefully we get those results sooner rather than later. But other than that, have a good day. I appreciate your time.